In the meantime, Wes had rejoined the band to both tour and play on the next album, where the reformed four-piece band became a centerpiece for perhaps the most complex arrangements in the band's career. The band now consisted of a three-piece that could completely stand on its own, plus a fourth piece that could then add a dimension rather than just covering the weakness of the three-piece as the very earliest configurations required. In addition, after the archetypal minimalism, both lyrically and musically, of Commander, the new album, which would again carry the Plasmatics name, was filled with complexity and returned to central Wendy O Plasmatics social and political themes, previously found most strongly on Coup, but in 1984 before it, environmental decay and a world where excess and abuse has led directly to a doomsday scenario. Recorded in 1987, Maggots, the record, was set 25 years in the future when environmental abuse and the burning of fossil fuels have created a greenhouse effect. The album begins,
"Of strength unknown in historical times. Global temperature rises have caused accelerated melting of the Earth's glaciers and polar ice caps. Preventative measures against massive flooding have been unrealistic and poorly constructed. Day by day, the sound of buzzing flies has become more and more pronounced."
After the near career-stopping situation with Capitol, there was a determination not to seek release through the major corporate labels. This was not without its own pitfalls, as Gem Passport, who had distributed the specially created WOW and then Gigasaurus record labels, went out of business a short time later. For Maggots the Record, a deal to distribute the album under the WOW label was cut with Profile Records, the company that, after their success with Run DMC, was now signing other product. Overseas, the record was licensed to Doug Smith, Motorhead's longtime manager and mentor, who was launching his own label, GWR, or Great Western Road Records.
The Maggots album captured me straight away because of the fact of this sort of environmental rape by the predictions in it.
We actually used two 24-track recording decks and put them together, so it was really like a 48 tracks of recording, and we filled up all the tracks. And we recorded in a studio called Broccoli Rob Studios in New Jersey, and they had this huge room they called the hangar, so we got this enormous drum sound.
The secret weapon, the airplane hangar. I'm going to show you why the drums were so huge on those records. You know, back then, studio space was at a premium. Even the Manhattan studios, to have a warehouse dedicated for drums was impossible. So in Jersey, we had the luxury of more space that's more affordable. So we would use rooms this size to cut drums. And you can just see the reverb in here. We would set drums up in the center of the room, and we just put the mics way up on the ceilings, on the walls.
I was in this huge room, had to have at least like a 25-foot ceiling. Then they mic'd all the corners, the drums, the whole entire room was just thunderous drums. Like it was the hugest drum sound. I didn't want to stop playing. I just wanted to keep going and going and going. The experience was tremendous, just to have that kind of capability of thunderous, huge drums. As a drummer, what more would you want on a record, you know?
We'd have to be creative on the spot. If we wanted to create echo, we'd put a speaker on one side of that garage I showed you and put a microphone on the other side, and we'd let the sound go out the speaker, and we'd pick it up at the end of the room, 100 feet away, and we'd use the room for that natural reverb. Of course, now they have software that does it with a mouse click, and you have the same kind of effect. Of course, it's not the same.
Wendy came in and did scorching vocal performances.
Sometime in the future when Nirvana will be found, we'll throw a body, only you won't be around. And we'll the molecules and find a DNA. Cosmic reactor, we're going all the way. Wow! I'm inside your DNA. I'm inside your DNA. I'm inside your DNA. You can't make me go away. I'm inside your DNA. You can't make me go away. I'm inside your DNA. You can't make me go away. All you do is look and eat. That's what we do, bro.
Growly, heavy, powerful vocals.
And Michael and Wes laid down some screaming leads. The record took 3 weeks to do, with mixing sessions going over 30 hours straight.
Everybody'd bite into a piece of garlic like it was an apple, and that fresh garlic would get everybody's blood going, and then we'd kick in the heavy guitars and we'd start the sessions, and we'd go for 2-3 days, just go straight through.
Wendy did a performance art piece at an invitation-only listening party at New York's Palladium, which had now been gutted and transformed since its heyday as a proscenium theater into a huge multi-level club, doing one of her famed demolitions of a facsimile all-American living room set with a sledgehammer and chainsaw. In addition to various promo interview pieces, Wendy did a photo shoot pre-promoting the record. Real maggots were used, which literally sent the magazine's crew climbing on top of chairs as the maggots quickly swarmed through the studio. The record was so radical, no one was sure at all how it would be received, and 3 weeks after the press copies had gone out, the Kerrang! Review came in. A 5 out of 5 K's rave. Unique, indelible, awesome. Maggots, the record, is quite simply a masterpiece. A work of genius, said the review. Wendy's vocals reduce Celtic Frost's Tom G. Warrior's death grunts to mere whimpers, it went on, coupled with a mixture of hedonistically operatic melodies, gut-forged to some of the heaviest armadillo beats you're ever likely to hear committed to vinyl. All in the backdrop, the review continued, of an all-American family, the whites, being devoured whilst watching a TV game show, and scientists and politicians are overheard discussing their impotence in the face of spreading malignancy. Maggots, the record, the review concludes, is indispensable. Wendy weighs in, Chris Knowles would write in classic rock, like a one-woman Greek chorus on Bone Crushers, like Day of the Humans is gone.
You're going down fast, you're way out of time, and for you the sun won't shine. You miss the boat while you preach your dreams.
And Brain Dead.
We are brain dead, we're marching out no head. We are brain dead, we're marching out no head. We are brain dead, we're marching out no head. Lines of the brain is come to the dark radius, roaches catch and run. Lines of the brain is come to the dark radius, roaches catch and run. Soldiers for the DNA, dissidents are put away. Stand up in the dead of night, disappear without a second.
Most notable to those who saw the Maggots tour was simply how Wendy and the band almost literally flew.
The support from all the fans, every city we go to, city to city to city, they'd all be there waiting. The minute we pull in the afternoon, till 3, 4 in the morning when we'd be loading up back in the bus and going to the next city.
The sheer speed, power, and energy as the group whipped through song after song from nearly a decade of work was, as numerous critics would write, of the seeing is believing kind of experience. Once the performance started, it was like it left the ground and took the entire place with it.